Never stop reading the Bible. Welcome to the Deep Dive. Today we're jumping into Chronicles, specifically chapters 8 through 10.
That's right.
These chapters, they really give you this picture of Solomon at his absolute peak, all the building, the wisdom, the wealth, and then, bam, you see the kingdom start to fracture right after.
Exactly. We get this detailed look from Chronicles on, well, his building projects, obviously, but also his focus on the temple, how the economy was doing, his international standing.
And then the shift to Rehoboam.
And the split. So our goal here is really to trace those key events, those transitions, specifically how Chronicles presents them.
Okay, let's dig into chapter 8 first. Solomon's accomplishments. We hear about military stuff, but what's the chronicler really honing in on?
Well, what's really interesting, especially if you look at verses 12 to 16, is the detail Chronicles gives about the temple services.
The organization.
Yes. The organization, the workforce structure for the temple, it really hammers home the chronicler's view that Solomon's reign was legitimate, divinely sanctioned, all centered on proper worship.
Right, makes sense from that perspective. And the time scale, 20 years for the temple and palace.
Yeah, 20 years. It just shows the sheer scale of what he was doing. Massive projects.
Okay, moving to chapter 9. This feels like the summit, doesn't it? Wisdom, wealth, fame. The Queen of Sheba story.
Absolutely the peak. Her visit is like the ultimate validation of his reputation. People are coming from everywhere.
Not just for wisdom, though, right? Chapter 9 talks a lot about wealth.
Oh, yeah. Chronicles doesn't skimp on that. It lists the gold, the gifts, the military might. It's really showcasing this high point, this apex of power and recognition just before,
before the end of his reign. 40 years, it says.
40 years. And then his son, Rehoboam, takes the throne.
Which leads us straight into chapter 10 and, the division. How does this chapter kick things off?
It's immediate. Rehoboam's king, and the people come to him with a pretty reasonable request, actually.
They want things eased up a bit after Solomon's big projects.
Exactly. Lighten the heavy labor, the yoke your father put on us. It hints that maybe things weren't all glorious for everyone under Solomon. There was a cost.
Yeah. So Rehoboam asks for advice, doesn't he?
He does. He talks to the elders, the ones who worked with Solomon, and then to his own peers, the younger guys he grew up with.
And they give different advice, I assume?
Totally different. The elders basically say, listen to the people, ease up, be a servant leader. Sound advice, you'd think. But the younger advisors, they tell him to double down. Be tougher than his father. Make the yoke even heavier.
Oh, boy. And he goes to the young guys.
He does. He rejects the elders' counsel, comes back to the people, and essentially tells them, you thought my father was tough. Just wait.
Wow. And the reaction is predictable, I guess.
Instant rebellion. The 10 northern tribes, they're out. They rally behind Jeroboam and say, what share do we have in David? The kingdom splits right there.
A direct result of that one decision.
Pretty much. And it's worth noting, from this point on, Chronicles mostly follows the story of the southern kingdom, Judah.
So these chapters really show us that transition. Solomon's hype building, wisdom, fame, international respect, all highlighted by the chronicler.
Especially that connection to proper worship in the temple.
Right. And then almost immediately under Rehoboam, a failure to listen, bad advice taken, and the whole thing splits apart.
It's a stark contrast. A powerful lesson, as told by the chronicler, about leadership and consequences, setting the stage for Judah's story.
From the Center Studio.